And with that, we welcome you back to Shirley Povich Field. The final 4 games of the regular season. The Big Train's magic number in the North Division is 3, and there is a chance they could clinch tonight. Alongside Adam Glover and Cailey Thalman, I'm Eli Kleinmann. The Big Train on the road for Game 1, even though it is being played in Bethesda because of a rainout for a game that was scheduled in Alexandria. So let's give you the Big Train starting lineup, 21-11, their record. Eddie Hakopian leads things off, the third baseman from Maryland. Dean Twigo bats second and plays first base. Jacob Orr hits third and is in left field. After his big day yesterday, Teddy Ruffner is the cleanup hitter and the designated hitter. Jeffrey Hurd bats fifth and plays right field. Dixon Williams hits sixth and plays second base. Connor Rasmussen bats seventh and plays shortstop. Jason Schiavone hits eighth and is the catcher. And Zeb Ruddle is the center fielder. He bats ninth, and they will face the George Mason product Ryan Edmonds on the mound, making his fifth start of the season. And the right-hander will look to give the Aces good innings in this 7-inning game. Let's flash you quickly the Big Train defense. Or the Aces defense. It's Wilson behind the plate, Miller and Grego on the left side, Esquivel, Austin Ford on the right side, Hamilton, Gregory, and Nicholson across the outfield. So here we go from Shirley Povich Field. The Big Train bat first. They are the road team in this 7-inning doubleheader for Game 1. They will be the home team later tonight. 3 of their final 4 meetings come against the regular season champs, the Aces. The first pitch to Hakopian, and he attacks a fastball and sends it foul down the first base line and out of play. No balls and a strike, 90 degrees at first pitch, 4:34 p.m. Edmonds stares over his glove, the 0-1 to Hakopian, and the fastball misses high. It's a ball and a strike. Here's the 1-1. Hakopian loops it into right center field, and it drops in front of the right fielder Nicholson for a base hit. Hakopian leads off the game with a single, and that's how this one gets started. Brings up Dean Twigo, the Oregon product who has been fantastic as of late for the Big Train over his last 3 games, 4 for 11. With 3 runs scored and an RBI. The lefty with an open stance stares towards the mound. Edmonds from the stretch. And the first pitch is a fastball that ranges well outside. A ball in, no strikes. Aces wearing their road uniforms, even though they are the designated home team for Game 1. The navy blue uniforms, navy blue caps, and gray pants. 1-0. Twigo swings and pops it high and foul down the first base line and out of play. It's a ball and a strike. Big Train wearing their home uniforms, the green uniforms with the green hats, and the white pants, the green socks. At Shirley Povich Field. Edmonds stares in, has the sign. Hakopian dances off the bag at first. Edmonds throws over, and Hakopian dives in just in time, and had a call from the dugout, did Edmonds to throw over after Hakopian almost got a fantastic jump. So we work again. Here's a 1-1. And Twigo takes a fastball that misses outside. It's 2 balls and a strike.
And lately, Edmonds has been pitching really, really well. The last time out 5 really good innings against the T-Bolts and completely flipping the way he started this year. Got a little roughed up early on.
2-1. Twigo hits a high chopper down the first base line, but foul. It's Matt Austinfort, the first baseman, who fields with that long blonde hair that pops out from behind his hat. The future Vanderbilt Commodore. He heads there this fall as a rising freshman. And a throw over to first. Austinfort applies the tag, but Hakopian gets that right hand in with the runner's guard with that bright red color. That is a staple for the Maryland Terrapins. Another throw over. This time, Hakopian off the bag. Austin Fort chases him down, applies the tag with the glove, and gets Hakopian for out number 1.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because the Big Train need base runners in these 2 games, especially with them being 7 innings. And getting Hakopian on to start the game, huge, but not the first time we've seen Hakopian this year run into an out on the bases.
2-2 to Twigo with nobody on, and he snaps a curveball back to the screen. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. New baseballs for our home plate umpire, Zach Campbell. John Malaki at first, and Dan O'Shea is at third. The 2-2 again to Twigo, and he swings and misses at the changeup. It's a strikeout for Edmonds. It's out number 2 in the top of the first, no score. And so Jacob Orr, the last chance in the road half of the first for the Big Train. 2 Maryland products in the top 3 of this Big Train lineup. First pitch to the righty, and he watches the curveball drop below the knees, a ball and no strikes. Edmonds wheels and deals a 1-0. And Orr hits a little looper down the first base line, but foul out of play. It's a ball and a strike. Orr in his 3rd season in the Cal Ripken League. Last year was with the Cropdusters, the year before with the T-Bolts. 1-1. Pops a fastball foul behind the plate and out of play. It's a ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs. The sun shines high in the sky, no clouds anywhere to be found. 1-2. Orr, it's a sharp ground ball left side. The shortstop, Grego, with the backhand. His throw to first, well up the line, and it gets away from the first baseman, Austin Fort. Off for second goes Orr, and he's in safely in scoring position on a really poor throw from Grego on a play that he probably would not have made with a perfect throw.
Yeah, it was a tough play for him. Great backhanded stop in that hole, in the 5 hole on the left side of the infield, but again, just a poor throw, and it allows Jacob Orr to take another base.
So it's Ruffner to the plate with 1 on and 2 down. As Edmonds comes set from the stretch, the first pitch to Ruffner is a fastball low and outside, a ball and no strikes. Ruffner, a huge day yesterday. In the 2 games he started both, 3 for 7 with a couple runs scored. A 1-0 misses again, low and outside. Another fastball from Edmonds. It's 2 balls and no strikes as he gets a couple tosses from the rosin bag. A warm and humid day in Bethesda, and trying to limit the sweat on that right hand. Ruffner, the righty, stands in. Long hold from Edmonds, the 2-0. Ruffner swings and misses at a fastball. It's 2 balls and a strike. Edmonds ready to deal again on a 2-1 pitch. Ruffner ropes one foul down the third base line. A hot shot in between the base and the third base coach for the Big Train. It evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Teddy's seen the ball really well, too. He was our player of the game for both the games in only against the Cropdusters, and really it's just been consistent at bats. Hasn't done anything too special, hasn't hit a home run, bases clearing double, something like that, but he's just been one of the most consistent guys in the lineup as of late, getting a lot of singles and producing well for the Big Train.
A chance to produce in the top of the first. A runner at second and no score with 2 down. Here's the 2-2. And Ruffner takes a fastball outside. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 3-2. Ruffner hits a high fly ball to right. Nicholson, a late break, and he dives, and the right fielder cannot make the catch. It's over his head. In to score is Orr. It's Ruffner who chugs around second and is into third standing with a triple in the top of the first. It's 1-0 Big Train against the Aces.
Well, there's the first big hit for him. You know, we just said, hasn't done anything too big, the home run, a double, something like that, and Teddy Ruffner showing that, yeah, he can still produce.
Well, a big swing of the bat, and it brings up Jeffrey Hurd as the Big Train look for more. First pitch into Hurd is a fastball high and wide, a ball and no strikes. Powerful lefty bat, 1-0, and the curveball drops into the zone. It's a ball and a strike. Hurd second in the league in home runs, but first in the Ripken League in RBIs. 1-1 pitch, and he takes a curveball in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike, where he straps those purple batting gloves as he stares towards the mound. 1-0 Big Train on the Teddy Ruffner RBI triple. 2-1 pitch. And Hurd takes outside again with a fastball ahead in the count, 3 balls and a strike. The 3-1. And Hurd takes a called strike on the outside corner. Already had flipped the bat and holds both palms up towards the sky. Not happy with the call. So he picks up his bat, taps it on the plate, and steps back in. The count is full. 2 outs. 3-2 pitch, and Hurd pops it up. Left side into foul territory. Here comes the third baseman, Gavin Miller. With room in front of the Big Train dugout, he makes the catch to end the inning. But the Big Train strike for 1 on a Teddy Ruffner RBI triple. 3 hits, 1 left. We head to the bottom of the first. The Aces come to bat, down 1-0. Welcome back to Shirley Povich Field for the bottom of the first. The Aces come to bat. They are the home team in Game 1. Tim Nicholson leads things off, followed by R.J. Hamilton, and Gavin Miller rounds out the top 3. It's Corey Taylor and Matt Austinford who hits 5th. 5 straight All-Stars for the Aces in their lineup. Nick Gregory bats 6th. Dylan Grego hits 7th. Asa Wilson hits 8th, another All-Star, and Chris Esquivel hits 9th. And they face the right-hander Darren Kuski after Brandon Clark, a late scratch for the Big Train. And the right-hander, a rising freshman, USC Upstate, faces this daunting lineup as the first pitch to Nicholson is a fastball low and outside, a ball and no strikes. A 4.15 ERA for Kuski in 5 appearances, making his first start of the season. 1-0, and the fastball skips low and outside. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Tough top of the order to face for Kuski. 2-0. Nicholson watches a fastball that pinpoints on the outer edge. It's 2 balls and a strike. Nicholson on a 5-game hit streak. He's gone 7 for 9 with 8 runs scored over that stretch. Is the 2-1 up and inside. It's 3 balls and a strike. Nicholson, a run-producing machine, scored a run in 17 games in a row as he grounds a 3-1 to the right side. It's the second baseman Williams who fields on a couple of hops. He sets his feet and throws to first in time for out number 1. Take a look at the Big Train defense behind Kuski or Schiavone behind the plate, Hakopian and Rasmussen on the left side, Williams, Twigo on the right side, or Ruddle and Hurd across the outfield. R.J. Hamilton to the plate, the right-handed bat. First pitch is low and outside, a ball and no strikes. Guy hitting over 300 this summer with a home run and 16 RBIs for Alexandria. 1-0. He ropes one past the third baseman Hakopian and into left field for a base hit. And R.J. Hamilton, who just had his 7-game hit streak snapped, looks to get another one started as he's aboard in the bottom of the first for Gavin Miller. A third baseman from Auburn and a right-handed bat at the plate. With Hamilton off of first, the pitch to Miller and the fastball a little bit below the knees. It's a ball and no strikes. Great speed for Hamilton. During that 7-game hit streak, he had 8 stolen bases. He leads off of first, the 1-0, and a called strike on the lower outside corner with a fastball, a ball and a strike. A Big Train competing down the stretch with the Cropdusters for the North Division crown, and the 2 games today will go a long way to deciding it. 1-1, a check swing for Miller. He rolls one softly to the right side. The second baseman, Williams, fields, throws to first in time. Hamilton tries to extend from first to third on the ground out, and he is thrown out. Twigo's throw to third in plenty of time, and the aggressive base running for the Aces does not pay off. To the second inning we go. It's the Big Train ahead, 1-0. Top of the second we go, and Dixon Williams leads things off for the Big Train, up 1-0 as they play as the road team here at home against the regular season champs, the Alexandria Aces. Left-handed bat faces Ryan Edmonds back out for a second inning. And the first pitch to the lefty is a fastball just below the knees, a ball and no strikes. Two top teams in the league over the last 2 seasons. The 1-0 Williams unloads on a fastball, deep right center. Nicholson, the right fielder, tracks it back. It's over his head and one hops the wall. Williams rolls into second, standing as the throw from the center fielder Gregory is well late, and it's a leadoff double to begin the top of the second for the big train.
It was just a fastball in Dixon Williams' wheelhouse, and Williams, the playing time has been a little inconsistent lately, but did do very well against the Cropdusters, especially the second game when he had a big single in the second, came all the way around to score thanks to his really good base running.
Has scored 2 runs in each of the last 3 games. And in position to score in the top of the second for Connor Rasmussen. Another lefty bat at the plate. And the first pitch from Edmonds is the breaking ball, and it gets a swing and a miss from Rasmussen. No balls and a strike. Rasmussen, 5 for 10 over the past 3 games. 0-1, squares to bunt, pops it up right back to the screen. It's a foul ball. It's 0-2.
And now here for Connor, you just have to try to shorten the swing and see if you can roll one to the right side, and at the very least move Dixon Williams to third, and which would allow Jason Schiavone, the on-deck hitter, to pick up an RBI.
Spins the bat towards the mound, lifts it above his left shoulder. 0-2, and he pops it foul down the third base line and out of play. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes. Jason Schiavone on deck. Zeb Ruddle to follow. The bottom 3 in the order for the big train. 0-2 pitch, and Ruddle snaps it back to the screen. A high fastball, and he just gets around to it in time. Count still no balls and 2 strikes.
And Rasmussen's another guy who the bat's starting to come around a little bit for. Had a couple of good games against Silver Spring. Also played well against the Braves and had a few good hits against the Cropdusters yesterday as well.
Williams dances off the bag at second. 0-2. Rasmussen flips it into left field, a base hit. Williams moves over to third. Rasmussen at first with the single. They're at the corners with nobody out for Schiavone.
Number 20, Jason Schiavone.
Schiavone looking to add to the 1-0 big train lead in the top of the second. As Edmonds goes to the rosin bag. Looks to remove some sweat from that right hand. First pitch to Schiavone. He attacks the fastball and pops it foul behind the plate. No balls and a strike.
And going back to that doubleheader against Silver Spring, that's now 8 hits for Connor Rasmussen since then, and not to mention all the times he's reached via the walk or an error. So he's been really productive lately for the big train.
He goes off for second. 0-1 pitch upstairs. Throw down from Wilson is there in time. The tag applied by the second baseman Esquivel, and there's one away as Rasmussen is caught stealing. Williams still at third with 1 down and the count, a ball and a strike to Jason Schiavone, and the infield for the Aces early in this doubleheader comes in. Edmonds continues from the stretch. 1-1. A curveball, and Schiavone hits a high fly ball deep down the left field line. A long run for the left fielder Hamilton, but he watches it go foul into the big train bullpen. It's a ball and 2 strikes. A similar swing from Schiavone from the last time the big train played a game here when he hit a 2-run blast down the left field line. But this one foul and down in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. Here it comes. And it's a fastball that skips in, and Wilson, the catcher, does a fantastic job to pick it on the backhand. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runner at third with 1 down. 1-0 Big Train, top of the second. 2-2 to Schiavone. And he swings and misses at the slider. It goes down as a strikeout for Edmonds, and there's 2 away.
That's tough for Jason because there were a few times in that at-bat where it really looked like he was seeing the right-hander well, including the foul ball that he hit a long way, and just to get that changeup on the outside part of the plate, not ready for it.
So Zeb Ruddle to the plate. With a runner at third and 2 down. First pitch to him, and he watches a fastball called a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Big Train haven't played the Aces in over a month. The last time they met was June 15th in Alexandria. 0-1. And the fastball upstairs to Ruddle, a ball and a strike. The Big Train controlled that game from the very start, shut out the Aces 5-0. In a win that was their first over Alexandria since early last summer. 1-1 and a swing and a miss from Ruddle. It's a ball and 2 strikes.
And it's also probably the most complete victory of the year, even though 5 runs to a lot of people might not be a lot for against an Aces team that you had previously not played well against. That's huge. Good defense in the game, a lot of strikeouts from the pitching staff as well.
1-2 to Ruddle, and he lifts his hands high as the fastball cruises inside. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes to the lefty. On deck, Eddie Hakopian, the leadoff man. Ruddle waits on a 2-2, and he attacks the breaking ball and lifts in the air to shallow center field. Gregory, the center fielder, takes a step back, jogs in, and makes the catch. Inning over. Well, the Big Train get a pair of hits to lead off the inning, but Williams stranded at third. We go to the bottom of the second from Shirley Povich Field, 1-0 the Big Train lead. Bottom of the second from Bethesda. The Aces back to bat. And Corey Taylor, one of the league's best hitters, to the plate to face Darren Kuski. A right-hander winds and deals. First pitch skips low and outside with the fastball. A ball and no strikes. Taylor hitting .354, 5 home runs, and 25 RBIs. 1-0. And the breaking ball misses outside again. Schiavone has to reach all the way across his body with that left hand. 2 balls and no strikes. It's a massive improvement for Taylor, a guy who hit just .143 for the Aces last summer. 2-0 and a big swing and a miss on an outside fastball. It's 2 balls and a strike. His home run 2 nights ago tied him with Hurd for second in the league. As the 2-1 misses again outside, another fastball from Kuski, and it's 3 balls and a strike. Taylor, the Eastern Michigan man, rests the bat on his right shoulder. 3-1 pitch, and he takes low and outside with a fastball for ball 4. It's a leadoff walk to bring Matt Ossenfort to the plate.
Yeah, this first game is going to be a little interesting for the Big Train. We just really don't know how things are going to go with Darren Kuski. There's not too many times in your career where you have to be a last-second substitution to start a game.
So the powerful lefty Matt Austin-Fort to the plate, and he swings at the first pitch and drives it to right field. Back goes the right fielder Hurd. He looks up, and Austin-Fort says goodbye. The Aces jump in front. It's 2-1 on his league-leading 7th home run of the summer.
Yeah, for Kuski, that just was a pitch that was left over the middle part of the plate, and especially to left-handed hitters here, it's easier, I should say, to hit one out if you're a lefty than a righty at this park. And for a guy like Austin-Fort, who has been a thorn in a lot of teams' sides, he's not going to miss that one.
Reaches 30 RBIs on the summer as Nick Gregory steps in, and he takes a fastball called a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Lefty Gregory hitting .270 on the summer. 0-1 from Kuski, and the fastball misses well upstairs. It's a ball and a strike. As Gregory steps out, scrapes his cleats back into the dirt. Ready for the 1-1. And he pops one foul behind home plate. A ball and 2 strikes. The trees that line the outfield have provided a little bit of shade. That stretches from left center to right center field. 1-2. And Gregory checks his swing on a pitch in the dirt, and he goes around. According to Dan O'Shea, our third base umpire, it goes down as a strikeout, and there's one away in the bottom of the second.
And give some credit to Darren Kuski there, a freshman having to face a really tough lineup, being able to bounce back after a long home run and pick up a strikeout.
So Dylan Grego to the plate. Another lefty in this lineup for the Aces. First pitch to him is high and outside with a fastball, a ball and no strikes. Ruddle, the center fielder, stands in the shadows. And the left fielder, Orr, and the right fielder, Hurd, sit in the sun. 1-0. And Grego lifts it into left field. The left fielder, Orr, drifts to his left a couple steps over, and he stops to make the catch for out number 2.
Realistically, for Darren Kuski, my guess is the hope that maybe they can get really 4 solid innings out of him, just with these both being 7-inning games. And for, again, a guy who has to come in last second to pitch, I mean, if you get 4, that's pretty good.
Asa Wilson to the plate, and the fastball misses outside, a ball and no strikes. Brandon Clark, a late scratch for the big train, and Kuski forced to fill in against the toughest lineup in the league as the 1-0 is called a strike on the outside corner, a ball and a strike. And ran into Matt Austin-Fort, arguably the league's best hitter. 1-1. And the fastball just misses below the knees. 2 balls and a strike. Wilson, the catcher today from Penn, part of the Ivy League title-winning team for the Quakers. 2-1. It's a high pop-up down the first base side, and it hooks its way fouling over the seats. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. The Aces lead 2-1 in the bottom of the second. As Wilson steps in, and the 2-2, he taps it softly foul down the third base line. The count remains even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. A white arm sleeve on that right arm as he adjusts his helmet and puts the bat behind his helmet. And the 2-2, he taps it back again. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Kuski flips the ball from his glove to his hand as he works the windup, the 2-2. And the breaking ball outside, a check swing from Wilson. He goes around, according to John Malaki, our first base umpire, and it's a pair of punch-outs for Kuski in the second. But he gives up a 2-run blast to Matt Austin-Fort, his 7th of the summer, and the Aces lead 2-1 after 2.
The juice is in the mix, it'll fix you up. I'm gonna ride the boogie train till the sun comes up. Ride the boogie train, ride the boogie train, ride the boogie train till the sun comes up. Meet me in the corner alone. Meet me in the corner alone. Meet me in the corner alone.
We welcome you back to Shirley Povich Field. Let's take a look at the league standings. The Aces have clinched not only the South Division title, but also the Cal Ripken League regular season. On the other side, the Big Train and Cropdusters deep in the playoff race for that North Division title in the first round bye. The Big Train, after they split the doubleheader yesterday, up a game. But a long way to go. Hakopian leads things off in the top of the third. In the first pitch, a fastball upstairs. A ball and no strikes from Ryan Edmonds. 2-1 Aces after the 2-run blast from Matt Austinfort as the 1-0 curveball drops onto the inside corner. A ball and a strike. Hakopian led off the game with a single. 1-1. And the curveball drops over the heart of the plate. It's a ball and 2 strikes. This game 1 of 2. The Big Train and Aces to do it again 30 minutes after the first. The 1-2, a soft grounder from Hakopian left side. The shortstop Grego fields on a backhand throw to first offline, and Matt Austinfort tries to apply the tag, but Hakopian able to dodge it with a quick half step to his left, and he's aboard to begin the third inning.
And it looks like it's going to be another error out there at short. We'll see what the official call is, but I assume just with that one not being as tough of a play that's what the call would be.
So our first base umpire, John Malaki, makes the call, and he comes home to chat with Zach Campbell, our home plate umpire, on the call, and the call stands safe at first for Hakopian, and it is the second error for Dylan Grego, and it looks like Eddie Hakopian is limping back to the dugout.
I wonder if it was just something maybe when he was trying to get around the tag.
And Jack Guerrero comes in to replace him, but Hakopian's day is done as he walks to the dugout with the trainer, Dr. Valentine, and Hakopian, who has been such a standout for the Big Train in limited time so far this summer. A key piece in the Big Train without him for the remainder of this game. So Twygo to the plate with nobody out and a runner at first, and he watches a fastball pin on the outside corner. Called a strike, 0-1. Oh, 1 pitch. Twygo watches a fastball high and outside. It's a ball and a strike. Hakopian, of course, played for the Aces last year and was the League Championship Series MVP against the Big Train for Alexandria as they claimed their first title. 1-1. A curveball on Twygo hits a high fly ball to deep center field. Gregory, the center fielder, back, leaps at the wall, and it's over his head. Around second and towards third is Guerrero. He gets the wave to the plate. He's in on his feet. Twygo slides in at third. The throw from Gregory rolls across the infield until Gavin Miller, the third baseman, picks it up. It's an RBI triple for Dean Twygo, and the Big Train have tied the game at 2 in the top of the third.
Yeah, like you said, Gregory couldn't find the ball in center field, and it hit off, I guess, the way it slowed down, maybe off his glove or off his body somewhere, because that ball just trickled a little bit in front of him, but he kept searching around. That allowed Twygo to take another base, and Guerrero also had to hold up on that one too. So by the time Twygo had hit second and rounded to head to third, Jack Guerrero wasn't even at third yet.
Twygo also has great speed.
Yes.
And he was on the move. So Orr to the plate with the go-ahead run at third in the top of the third. 2-2 our score. And Jacob Orr standing in. First pitch from Edmonds. And Orr lines it right back off the screen. No balls and a strike. Orr reached on a single in the first and came around to score for the first run of the ball game. 0-1. Or hits a soft ground ball to the left side. The shortstop, Grego Fields, only play to first. It's a high throw. Austin Fort, the first baseman, leaps, makes the catch, and steps on the bag for out number 2. But in to score comes Twigo on the RBI groundout, and the Big Train are right back in front. It's 3-2 in the top of the third. 2 runs for the Aces in the bottom of the second, and the Big Train get 2 right back a half inning later. And they have the lead.
Another not great throw from Grego either. That's 3, and that one, again, Austin Fort saved a bad throw. You wonder if it's something with, mental, or if it's just the sun or something like that.
Ruffner to the plate, and he swings and misses at a fastball. No balls and a strike. Well, a couple bad throws, and you wonder how long until you start getting in your head a little bit. 0-1 pitch. The breaking ball misses high to Ruffner, a ball and a strike. Big Train, a chance to clinch the North Division today. Their magic number is 3. They play 2 against the Aces. 1-1, and Ruffner pops it up, foul behind home plate. A ball and 2 strikes as he steps out, taps his bat on both feet, works his way back into the batter's box. And the Cropdusters play one later tonight, and if the Big Train win both and the Cropdusters lose, they will be division champs. 1-2. The curveball skips outside in the left-handed hitter's batter's box. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 down, top of the third. 2-2. Ruffner checks his swing on a curveball in the dirt, and he goes around, according to our first base umpire, John Malaki. It's a strikeout for Edmonds, and now there is 2 away.
Right fielder, a junior out of Sacramento State, number 35.
Jeffrey Hurd to the plate with 2 down and nobody on. Edmonds shrugs his shoulders as he peers over that dark glove. And the first pitch to Hurd is a fastball outside, a ball and no strike. Here's the 1-0. Fastball up and away, 2 balls and no strikes. Aces trail the top of the third. They lost last night to the DC Grays, have yet to lose back-to-back games this summer. Just 4 losses in total. 2-0, and Hurd hits a high pop-up left side into shallow left field. Long run for the left fielder Miller, and he reaches back over his head and makes the catch to end the inning. But the Big Train strike for 2 on the RBI triple from Twigo, and then a ground out from Orr. It's 3-2 Big Train as we head to the bottom of the third from Shirley Povich Field.
The second baseman.
9-1-2 for Alexandria as Darren Kuski works back to the mound, and Chris Esquivel, the right-handed hitter, at the plate. 3-2 Big Train. We play into the bottom of the third. Esquivel, second baseman, waits, and the first pitch skips in off the glove of Schiavone into the backstop. A ball and no strikes. Big Train scored 2 in the top of the third to jump back in front. It's Kuski's 1-0. Esquivel hits a high fly ball deep down the right field line. Hurd, the right fielder, goes back. He reaches up on the warning track, and he makes the catch as he crashes into the wall. a couple feet to the left of that foul pole down the right field line, one away in the bottom of the third. And a big first out as the top of the order returns to the plate, and Tim Nicholson steps up. First pitch, fastball misses outside, a ball and no strikes. Nicholson plays right field today at George Washington. He is their everyday catcher. 1-0, and the curveball drops into the zone on the inside corner. Evens the count, a ball and a strike, and a great relationship with Chris Bursett in his second season in Alexandria. 1-1, and the curveball misses low and outside. 2 balls and a strike. Bursett, the manager for the Aces. And at George Washington during the spring, he's an assistant who specializes with the catchers. And these two work together all the time. As a 2-1 pitch is a soft grounder to the right side. The second baseman, Williams, gobbles it up, and he flips to first in time for out number 2 as R.J. Hamilton returns to the plate. Hamilton a single back in the first, but was thrown out trying to extend from first to third on a ground out. Really good speed for the former high school wide receiver. First pitch to him, and the curveball just off the outside corner, a ball and no strikes. According to 247 Sports, could have played both ways in college at Vanderbilt. 1-0. And he takes a fastball called a strike on the lower outside corner, a ball and a strike. Football was his first love, but when he was 8, his dad said, let's try baseball. And it has worked out really well for him as he swings and misses at a 1-1 curveball. It's a ball and 2 strikes. But he's focused on baseball for the Commodores, one of college baseball's best programs. 2 outs, 1-2. And Hamilton swings and misses at the curveball. It's a strikeout for Kuski, his 3rd of the day. And it ends the inning. 1-2-3 go the Aces. It's 3-2 Bethesda as we head to the 4th from Shirley Povich Field.
The juice is in the mix, it'll fix you up. I'm gonna ride the boogie train till the sun comes up. Ride the boogie train, ride the boogie train, ride the boogie train till the sun comes up. Meet me in the corner, no. 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 Boogie down, mix up. Boogie down, fix up. The juice is in the mix, it'll fix you up. I'm gonna ride that boogie train till the sun comes up. Ride that boogie train, ride that boogie train, ride that boogie train till the sun.
Dixon Williams leads things off in the top of the 4th. 3-2 Big Train, and the first pitch to the lefty is a fastball outside from Ryan Edmonds, a ball and no strikes. Williams a double to lead off the second, but was stranded at third. 1-0. He swings at a fastball, loops it into center field, and it drops in front of the center fielder Gregory for a base hit. A 2-hit day for Williams, and he's aboard at first to lead off the 4th.
Batting 7th, the shortstop, a sophomore at Tulane, number 13.
So Connor Rasmussen to the plate with nobody out, and a quick runner at first. Williams 4 stolen bases yesterday between the 2 games. First pitch to Rasmussen, squares the bunt, puts it down the first base line. It's a beauty. The pitcher Edmonds off the mound, fields with his bare hand, an underhand flip to first just in time to get the speedy Rasmussen for out number 1. Williams moves over to second, but a perfect sacrifice bunt from the Big Train shortstop.
You know, small ball is something that the Big Train haven't had to do a whole lot of this year because, especially at the beginning of the year, they were just out in front so much. But if you've noticed, these last however many games, you're starting to see a lot more of that, a lot more stolen bases, sack bunts, sack flies, stuff like that.
First pitch to Schiavone. He ropes one down the right field line into the corner, and it hooks foul at the very last second. No balls and a strike to the Big Train catcher with Williams at second, 1 away. They look for some insurance, up 3-2 in the top of the 4th. Face Ryan Edmonds on the mound, his 4th inning of work. Big Train looking to cut their magic number to win the North Division from 3-2, with another game to be played later today. Williams dances off the bag at second, 0-1, and Schiavone pops it high and foul behind the plate, down 0-2. As Edmonds swats the bugs away from his face with his glove and leans back in for the sign. Hot, muggy day in Bethesda. 0-2 pitch. Schiavone takes the curveball outside, and an excellent block from Wilson behind the plate to keep it in front. A ball and 2 strikes. Big Train's 6th doubleheader this summer. They are 5-5 in total. As a look back at second from Edmonds, and back to the bag goes Williams. They have split every single doubleheader, including last night against the Cropdusters. 1-2. Schiavone ropes one on the ground to the right side. The second baseman, Esquivel, a couple feet to the left of second. Fields sets his feet and throws to first in time for out number 2. Over to third moves Williams, and it brings up Zeb Ruddle with 2 down.
Yeah, another productive plate appearance for Jason. The average might be in the 240s, but you know, he is still going up there consistently and at least doing, you know, even if it's not a hit or a walk, at least doing what he can to help out the Big Train, even if it's a ground out just to move a runner up.
So Edmonds looks to limit the damage with a runner at third and 2 away. Ruddle at the plate. And the first pitch, a fastball high and wide, a ball and no strikes. The Big Train had a massive doubleheader last season on the second last day of the summer against the Aces, the 2 teams battling for that first overall seed. As the 1-0 home to Ruddle, and the curveball drops in at the knees, called a strike, a ball and a strike. The Big Train led by 2 games in the standings. They lost both games of the doubleheader and lost the tiebreaker. Both teams won on the final day of the regular season as Ruddle pops it foul on the 1-1 pitch. It's a ball and 2 strikes with 2 down, and it gave the Aces the number 1 overall seed and eventually home field advantage in the league championship series between these 2 teams. Today, the Big Train look to turn the tide on a late season doubleheader. 1-2, a curveball in the dirt, skips away from Wilson, but within arm's reach, and Williams holds it third. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Big Train up 3-2 in the top of the 4th.
I'll tell you what, for Zeb Ruddle, give him some credit. Lately, he's been one of the most clutch hitters on this Big Train team and had a big RBI single in the second inning of the second game up in Olney against the Cropdusters yesterday that helped the Big Train go out in front.
2-hit day for him yesterday, 2-2. Hits a soft grounder to the right side, right back to Esquivel. He fields and flips to first just in time to get the speedy Ruddle, and the inning comes to an end. The Big Train stranded another runner at third. We head to the bottom of the 4th. It's Bethesda 3 and the Aces 2. Bottom of the fourth, the Big Train up 3-2, and Gavin Miller to the plate in game one of this two-game doubleheader. First pitch to the third baseman is a fastball outside, a ball and no strikes. Miller's bat has cooled off a little bit as of late, 1-0. He swings at a fastball, hits it down the right field line, and it hooks just foul. As Hurd, the right fielder, gave chase. Over the past 4 games, Miller 1 for 15 with 6 strikeouts. But still a lot of trust in the Auburn product, hitting third in this dangerous Aces lineup. 1-1. Watches a fastball just off the outside. It's 2 balls and a strike. Skusky holds the ball at the belt. Winds and deals a 2-1, and Miller hits a high chopper left side. The shortstop Rasmussen in on the infield grass. Gloves in, throws in one motion. In time to get Miller one away.
Impressive stuff for Connor. We mentioned it on the broadcast yesterday. A guy who has been one of the best defensive players in the Cal Ripken League, one of the best shortstops to go with it. And again, showing off the speed and the range coming in on that ball.
Took a high hop. Might have hit off a home plate and bounced straight up in the air and did not have a lot of time to make the play. First pitch to Taylor, and he watches a fastball just miss off the outside corner, a ball and no strikes. Taylor walked and scored on the Austin Fort 2-run home run in the second. 1-0. Swing and a miss at a fastball at the knees, a ball and a strike. That's all the offense for the Aces so far today. They trail 3-2 in the bottom of the fourth. 1-1. Fastball misses away again. 2 balls and a strike. Big Train and Alexandria facing for the first time since June 15th. They have 3 more games to go this week. 2-1, and Taylor ropes it foul down the third baseline. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, that game in Alexandria is going to be tricky for the Big Train because the playoffs start the next day. So if they don't clinch the North, they have to play back-to-back games.
2-2, and Taylor hits a little looper into left field. It hangs up long enough for Orr to settle under it, and the left fielder makes the grab for a quick out number 2. Well, the playoffs, if the Big Train do not clinch the division, begin Saturday night right here at Shirley Povich Field. They will face the 6th seed. If they win the division, they will face their semifinal opponent on Sunday. It's the first pitch to Matt Austin Fort, a little low with the fastball. Ball and no strikes. He has the big hit of the day for Alexandria, the 2-run blast in the second. His 7th of the summer. 1-0. And he watches a fastball in above his shoot tops as he bends out of the way. 2 balls and no strikes. The hottest hitter in the Cal Ripken League. Multiple hits in his last 4 games. 9 for 16 coming in during that stretch. 2-0. And he attacks a fastball and fouls it straight back. It's 2 balls and a strike. Guy who's had an interesting baseball journey. Originally from South Dakota. Moved to Florida in 2020. And then had to get Tommy John surgery in December of that year as the 2-1 skips in the dirt again. It's 3 balls and a strike. Was long tossing in December and felt something wrong with his left arm. But finally worked back and was able to play this spring for Stoneman Douglas High School down in Parkland, Florida. And now heads to Nashville to play for Vanderbilt. 3-1. He takes a called strike on the inside corner. It's 3-2 with the fastball. Of course, Stoneman Douglas High School, where Anthony Rizzo played college baseball, or high school baseball. 3-2. Takes outside with the fastball, ball 4, and a 2-out walk to Austin Fort. Of course, known for the shooting that took place there a couple years ago. But is known as a good high school baseball program in the state of Florida. So Nick Gregory to the plate with a runner at first and 2 down. And the first pitch from Kuski, he hits a little looper. Shallow left field. In comes Orr. On the move, the left fielder makes the grab and ends the inning. A 2-out walk left stranded. On to the 5th we go. It's the Big Train 3 and the Aces 2.
The juice is in the mix, it'll fix you up. I'm gonna ride that boogie train till the sun comes up. Ride that boogie train, ride that boogie train, ride that boogie train till the sun comes up. Till the sun comes up. Till the sun comes up. Ride that boogie train, ride that boogie train, ride that boogie train till the sun comes up. Hey baby, I love the way you move. Say hey baby, I love the way you groove. Hey baby, I love the way you move. Say hey baby, I love the way you boogie down. Hey baby, I love the way you move, boogie down. The juice is in the mix, it'll fix you up. I'm gonna ride that boogie train till the sun comes up. Ride that boogie train, ride that boogie train, ride that boogie train till the sun comes up. Meet me in the corner alone. Meet me in the corner alone. Meet me in the corner alone. Meet me in the corner alone.
Top of the 5th from Shirley Povich Field. The Big Train, the road team here at home for Game 1 of this doubleheader. And Jack Guerrero leads things off to face Thomas Lamar, the new pitcher for Alexandria. An all-star for the Aces. 3-2 Big Train. The first pitch to Guerrero. Low and inside with a fastball. A ball and no strikes. Lamar has faced the Big Train once this season. Worked an inning and a third and allowed 1 run. 1-0. Guerrero swings and hits a chopper to the left side. The shortstop Grego fields and launches it to first in time for out number 1. Guerrero retired in his first at-bat after he pinch ran for Eddie Hakopian in the 3rd inning. And with a 1 away, Dean Twigo comes to the plate.
Like to see Dean replicate what he did last time. Got a good breaking ball and hit a triple off the wall, but just sit back on that pitch and drive it.
First pitch is a breaking ball that bends inside. A ball and no strikes. Here's the 1-0. And he takes another curveball outside. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Had the RBI triple in the 3rd. And then came in to score on the ground out. 2-0. Swings and chops one down the first base line, but foul. It's 2 balls and a strike to Twigo. Big Train looking to at least get a game from Alexandria here today. 2-1. Twigo launches a fastball in the air to center field, a mile high, as Gregory, the center fielder, sits under it, and he makes the catch for out number 2. So Jacob Orr up with 2 down and nobody on. 3-2 Big Train, top of the 5th. As the sun continues to shine right down onto the field. As Lamar waves his hat above his head. It is a warm day, just about 90 degrees. It's the first pitch to Orr, and he fouls it back. Out of play, no balls and a strike. The humidity is high. So We near the end of July in Bethesda. 0-1 pitch. Or lines it out to shallow center field. Long run for Gregory, the center fielder, in the shadows. He makes the catch to end the inning. 1, 2, 3 go the big train. On to the bottom of the fifth we go. It's 3-2 Bethesda.
Wait for me. Keep watching you when you leave. Something new. Keep hoping you feel this too. Holding on and on and on and on. Hoping I can get to know you better. Living in sweet suburbia. Some fun is all we want. Two kids come alive in a night.
This sophomore at Ball State.
3-2 big train as we head to the bottom of the fifth. Kuski back to the mound. And Dylan Grego to the plate. He takes a first pitch fastball low and inside. A ball and no strikes. Kicks the dirt as he steps out of the box and resets back in. 1-0. Takes high with a fastball. 2 balls and no strikes. Kuski, 4 innings, just 2 runs allowed for a guy who is pitching on short notice. 2-0 and a fastball called a strike on the outside corner. It's 2-1. A late scratch for Brandon Clark, and Kuski thrown into the action and has been brilliant. 2-1 pitch. And Grego rolls it down the first base line. Twigo, the first baseman, with the backhand, and he takes it to the bag himself for out number 1.
Pitcher, a junior out of 10, number 40, Asa
So
Wilson.
Asa Wilson back up for his second at-bat. A strikeout back in the second. The only inning that the Aces have scored. They scored 2 on the 2-run blast from Matt Ossenfort. First pitch to Wilson and a big swing and a miss. The fastball, no balls and a strike. Bottom third of the lineup due up. If someone can reach Tim Nicholson, the leadoff man will hit. 0-1. Fastball skips in the dirt outside. A ball and a strike. Kuski scrapes some dirt on the mound to adjust his landing spot. Slipped just a little bit on that last pitch. Faces the right-hander Wilson, 1-1. And another swing and a miss. Another fastball low and outside. A ball and 2 strikes. Kuski settles in on the mound. Wheels and deals a 1-2. And Wilson chops it just foul down the third base line towards the big train dugout. A ball and 2 strikes. Aces just 4 losses on the summer. One of them to the big train back on June 15th. 1-2. Curveball, swing and a miss. Wilson strikes out for the second time, and there's 2 away.
Yeah, Kuski continuing to look really, really good. And anytime you get a guy who doesn't have a lot of experience under his belt at this level, doing this against a team like Alexandria, it's just one of those days where you just got to appreciate what you have as a manager.
Kuski, a rising freshman at USC Upstate, as Esquivel stands in. 2 outs, and he fouls the curveball off of the catcher, Schiavone. No balls and a strike. Oh, 0-1 pitch. Another curveball. It drops onto the outside corner. Kuski ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. Looking for his third 1-2-3 inning, and a swing and a miss on the 0-2. He strikes out Esquivel, and the inning comes to an end. Kuski with strikeout number 5. 5 brilliant innings from the right-hander. On to the 6th we go. It's 3-2 Big Train.
Number 31.
Teddy Ruffner leads things off for the Big Train in inning number 6. 3-2 Bethesda as they battle for the North Division crown, a game up on the Cropdusters entering today. First pitch to Ruffner. Takes a fastball called a strike on the lower outside corner, 0-1. Ruffner an RBI triple back in the first to get the scoring started. 0-1 pitch, and the curveball stays a little high from Lamar, a ball and a strike. Lamar peers to the left to that tan glove, 1-1, and Ruffner pops one high and foul right behind the plate and out of play. Behind in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. Lamar on the mound, one of 17 All-Stars for the Aces for the South Division team. 1-2, and the curveball remains up and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Big Train had 9 All-Stars, and the Cropdusters tied for 9 as well. 2-2. Swing and a miss from Ruffner. He strikes out on the curveball, and there's one away in the top of the 6th.
Yeah, at this point, if you're the Big Train, you just got to do everything in your power to at least get one more run. You know, 1-run lead, you know, it's great having the lead, but against an Aces team where one mistake can be launched over the wall, the Big Train would like a little more security.
So Jeffrey Hurd to the plate, and 0 for 2 day so far for the left-handed hitter. So he takes a first pitch inside, and it hits him on that front hip. So he heads down to first, and a runner aboard with 1 down for Dixon Williams.
Second baseman, ace sophomore out of East Carolina. Number 33, Dixon Williams.
Williams has reached twice today, a double in the second, a single in the first, but has yet to come around to score. Hurd takes a couple step lead off of first, and the pitch to Williams is a fastball outside, a ball and no strikes. The last couple games for Williams have been exactly what the Big Train saw from him early in his summer as the leadoff man in this order. An on-base machine, 1-0. He takes a curveball low and inside, skips in the dirt. Nice block by Wilson to keep it in front. 2 balls and no strikes. Has moved down the lineup as of late, but still a very productive hitter for the Big Train. 2-0. Swings and loops one into left field for a base hit over the head of the shortstop, Grego. Hurd moves over to second on the 3rd hit of the day for Dixon Williams.
Batting center for the Big Train, the shortstop, ace sophomore Tulane, number 13.
So Connor Rasmussen, a chance to add on the insurance runs the big train so desperately want. Up 3-2 in the top of the 6th with Hurd at second, Williams at first, and only one down. Lamar leans in for the sign, looks back at Hurd at second. Pitch to Rasmussen, and the fastball misses inside. A ball and no strikes. Rasmussen takes his time out of the box. Steps back in, taps the pink bat on the plate, and lifts it above his left shoulder. 1-0. Takes, and this time the fastball called a strike on the outside corner. Even at a ball and a strike with one down. Shortstop Grego stands right behind Hurd, the runner at second. To hold him on, 1-1. Fastball slips out of the hand to Lamar and misses well upstairs and outside. It's 2 balls and a strike. Big Train looking to be the first team to beat the Aces twice this summer. 2-1, and a swing and a miss at the curveball from Rasmussen. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That's a great pitch after you elevated a fastball, going to the breaking ball. Rasmussen's eye level adjusts and can't come up with anything on that breaking ball.
Lamar will look back at second, set above the belt. 2-2, and another swing and a miss at a curveball in the dirt from Rasmussen. He strikes out, there's 2 away.
For Lamar, that's his put-away pitch. It's what he was able to get Ruffner on as well. So, you know, if he can continue to locate that one well, Jason Schiavone now up, a guy who doesn't hit the breaking ball as well. Jason always sitting on fastball.
Big Train hope for a little 2-out magic. Schiavone 0 for 2 today. As Lamar steps off and just fakes a throw back to second. Hurd takes a half step back to the bag, but no one covering. First pitch to Schiavone, and the fastball is called a strike on the inside corner. 0-1. Lamar works slowly. 0-1. Schiavone swings at an 0-1 pitch and ropes it foul down the third base line. 0-2.
And that was the breaking ball there. And telltale sign that Jason was sitting on a fastball just well out in front of a breaking ball. And now Lamar has the opportunity to maybe go back there, but try to go to the opposite side and see if he can get Jason Schiavone to swing over something.
2 on, 2 out. The Big Train leading 3-2. 0-2 to Schiavone, and the curveball just misses narrowly off the outside corner. It's a ball and 2 strikes, and a great take by Schiavone.
Yeah, there was the pitch, and just like you said, just missed a little bit. And now Schiavone an opportunity to get another chance here to try to drive in a run.
1-2, a swing and a miss at the curveball, and it ends the inning. Big Train strand 2 as Lamar strikes out 3 in the 6th. To the bottom half we go. It's the Aces down a run. Big Train 3, Alexandria 2.
Wait for me. Keep watching you when you leave. Something new. Keep hoping you feel this too. Holding on and on and on and on. Hoping I can get to know you better. Living in sweet suburbia. Some fun is all
First pitch to Tim Nicholson. He bunts it down the third base line. Kuski, the pitcher, fields, and he throws it over the head of Twygo at first. Off for second goes Nicholson. The throw from the second baseman, Williams, is not in time.
Batting second for the Aces.
And the Aces have the tying run at second after the error from the pitcher, Kuski. It's 3-2 Big Train in the bottom of the sixth. And just a poor throw, but Dixon Williams, the second baseman, tried to back up the play and almost got Nicholson, extending the error from first to second. R.J. Hamilton to the plate. The right-hander 1 for 2 today. First pitch, he squares the bunt, puts it down the third base line. The catcher, Schiavone, picks it up. His throw to first is a little late, and R.J. Hamilton has a bunt single. It puts runners at first and third with nobody out. And a golden opportunity for the Aces with Gavin Miller up the 3-hole hitter as the umpires come together, and it looked for a split second like it might have hit Hamilton on his way out of the box. And I think that's exactly what they're discussing, and they say he's safe. So not enough to overturn it, and Hamilton, the speedy infielder who is in left field today, played wide receiver in high school, able to leg out the bunt single, and here comes Sal Colangelo to the mound, likely to end the day for Darren Kuski. But what a day. If it's over, it has been. And no motion yet to the bullpen, so we'll see. Still might be Kuski's inning for now. The rising freshman at USC Upstate to stay in the game, potentially, as Colangelo gives one more word, and he rides with his rising freshman, who got the start on short notice and has gone 5 innings, just allowing 2 runs, but the heart of the order at the plate. Gavin Miller, Corey Taylor, Matt Austin-Fort with the tying run at third in the bottom of the sixth and nobody out. And fantastic speed at first as well with R.J. Hamilton. The first pitch to Miller, and the fastball skips in the dirt, a ball and no strikes. Miller, a pair of ground outs on the afternoon. Big Train have the corners in and the middle infielders at double play depth. 0-1 pitch. He lines it down the left field line. It's a fair ball, and it ricochets into the corner. Nicholson comes in to score. Hamilton races around second and into third. It's an RBI double for Gavin Miller, and the Aces tie the game in the bottom of the sixth.
Batting fourth for the Aces, the designated hitter, a junior out of Eastern Michigan.
It's the big hit Alexandria has been looking for, and they finally get to Kuski the third time around. And Colangelo looks down towards his bullpen to see if the bullpen is ready. And it appears not yet. As Corey Taylor to the plate. Infield creeps in for the Big Train as Kuski steps off. At third is Hamilton, the go-ahead run. At second is Miller. And if the Aces push one across with nobody out, the Big Train will be down to their final 3 outs. First pitch to Taylor. He swings and hits a fly ball into shallow center. Ruddle, the center fielder, with a good arm, makes the catch. Hamilton thinks about a tag, instead puts the brakes on. There's one away as the throw from Ruddle on a line to the catcher, Schiavone.
Batting fifth for the Aces, the first baseman, a freshman out of Vanderbilt.
So the Big Train keep the game tied, but Matt Austin-Fort to the plate, and it looks like he will be intentionally walked, and that has to be the right decision against the powerful left-handed bat. Second walk for him today.
Batting sixth for the Aces, the center fielder,
And it brings up Nick Gregory.
number 45, Nick Gregory.
And Sal Colangelo adjusts his outfield to bring them in just a couple steps. Great speed at third. Good speed at second and average speed at first. The pitch to Gregory, and the fastball misses well outside. A ball and no strikes. Big Train have led from the outset. A run in the first. They gave up the lead quickly in the bottom of the second, but got it right back a half inning later as the 1-0 in the dirt, and Schiavone down to both knees to block it. 2 balls and no strikes, 2 runs in the top of the third, and no one has scored since until the Aces put one across this half of the inning. Bottom of the 6th, tie game, 3-3, bases loaded. With 1 out, the 2-0, and Gregory watches a fastball clip the zone at the knees. 2 balls and a strike. 0 for 2 today, a strikeout and a flyout. 2-1. And he takes low and inside. It gets away from Schiavone, but Hamilton decides to hold it third. Schiavone has to range about 5 steps to his right to pick up the baseball, but Hamilton does not test it. It's 3 balls and a strike, and all of a sudden a must-have-it pitch for Darren Kuski. Bases loaded, 3-1, and it's outside ball 4. And the Aces take the lead on a walk to Nick Gregory. It's 4-3 Alexandria in the bottom of the 6th. And here comes Sal Colangelo. That will end the day for his rising freshman pitcher. Admirable work on the mound. But the Big Train will have to battle from behind in the top of the 7th with 3 outs to go. We'll take a break on the Big Train Baseball Network. The Aces lead. It's 4-3.
Eyes closed, holding on and on and on and on, hoping I can get to know you better, living in sweet suburbia. Some fun is all we want. 2 kids come alive in a night rush. I'll be the girl next door, you be my summer crush. Yeah, I think you should come and pick me up, 'cause nothing feels as good as summer. Two kids come alive in a night rush. I'll be the girl next door, you be my summer crush. Yeah, I think you should come and pick me up, 'cause nothing feels as good.
The Aces have the lead in the bottom of the 6th. It's 4-3 Alexandria as Skylar Hutto is the new pitcher, the Alabama product, making his 7th appearance on the mound, a 2.81 ERA. And last faced the T-Bolts in the win in Silver Spring on July 13th, 5 days ago. That was last Thursday. Went 1 2/3 innings, did not allow a hit or a run or a walk, and did not strike out anybody. But you take that performance if you're Hutto, and the Big Train certainly were happy with it.
For the Aces, the shortstop, the sophomore of Ball State, number 36.
4-3 Aces with the bases loaded and 1 out. And it's Dylan Grego to face the new pitcher, Skylar Hutto. He works from the windup, the first pitch to the lefty, and Grego bounces one foul down the first base line. No balls and a strike. The Aces looking to avoid back-to-back losses for the first time this season. They are 26-4 on the year. 0-1. Grego rolls one to first. Twigo, the first baseman, throws home. Schiavone makes the catch. Back to first. It's in time. Double play. And the inning is over. Hutto out of the pen does his job to perfection. And he sends us to the top of the 7th. The Big Train need a run. It's 4-3 Aces.
Fans, remember
Welcome back to Shirley Povich Field. The Big Train in the top of the 7th down to their final 3 outs. They are the road team for game 1 of the doubleheader. And they look to fight their way back in a game that could easily play a huge role in determining the North Division. Sam Beliveau, the new pitcher for the Aces, a 2.45 ERA in 10 appearances. Pitched 3 days ago against the Grays, gave up 2 runs in an inning. The Big Train need 1 to tie, 2 to take the lead. 4-3 Aces in the top of the 7th, and Zeb Ruddle leads things off 9-1-2. The LSU product hits from the left side. A first pitch to Ruddle. And he takes a fastball that finds the outside corner of the zone, called a strike, 0-1.
Yeah, at the very least, you just need 1 base runner here for the Big Train. You got top of the order waiting. You just need 1 to tie this ball game up.
0-1. Ruddle swings and dribbles one towards the first base dugout and ricochets off the chair that Corey Taylor, the designated hitter, sits on. It's 0-2. 15 strikeouts in 14 2/3 innings for Beliveau. 0-2. And it's a fastball that skips inside, just inches from the shoe tops of Zeb Ruddle. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Big Train need 1. Down 4-3. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Ruddle swings and flares it foul down the third base side above the Big Train dugout, and the count remains a ball and 2 strikes. Jack Guerrero on deck, the replacement for Eddie Hakopian. Holds the bat above his left shoulder. 1-2. Ruddle hits one softly down the first baseline. Austin Fort Fields flips to Beliveau, the pitcher who covers the bag in time for out number 1.
Batting first for the Big Train, the third baseman, ace sophomore.
Ruddle with good speed made it close, but
138, Jack Guerrero.
with 1 down, it's Jack Guerrero to the plate.
And Jack's bat's been heating up a little bit, so it's funny watching Guerrero hit lately. It hasn't been a lot of line drives. It's been a lot of flares and stuff like that, but Sal Colangelo and the Big Train will take that.
They will take a base runner any way they can get it. With 1 out, Guerrero swings, hits a high fly ball to deep right field. Nicholson looks up. This game is tied.
Home run.
Jack Guerrero evens us at 4, and the swing of the season ties the game with 1 out in the top of the 7th.
93 miles an hour off the bats. And
Not a flare, not a line drive, but a mammoth shot to right.
the first baseman,
And it's a brand new ball game in Bethesda. Twigo to the plate in a 4-4 ball game. The first pitch from Beliveau. He chops it over the pitcher on the mound into center field, a base hit. And the Big Train have the go-ahead run at first.
Batting third for the Big Train, the left fielder,
With 1 away for Jacob Orr.
Yeah, both Guerrero and Twigo wasting no time, getting aggressive early on in these at-bats. And you know, it's working for the Big Train, and we'll see if it continues with Orr and Ruffner due up.
Heart of the order. Orr the 3-hitter, Ruffner the cleanup hitter on deck. As Twigo leads off of first. Pitch to the left fielder. He swings and pops it up behind the plate, foul and out of play. No balls and a strike. The 0-1. And Orr takes a fastball on the outside corner, down 0-2. And the big train approach this inning has been attack the first pitch from Beliveau. And it has worked to success. 0-2. Orr swings and misses at the slider. It's a strikeout for out number 2. And with Twygo at first, the big train looked at Teddy Ruffner to keep the inning alive.
And for Beliveau, with Ruffner and Hurd waiting behind him, a strikeout, or an out in general, really was a must right there with Orr, especially after he got ahead 0-2. He couldn't lose Jacob, because then you were going to run into some serious issues with Ruffner, who's been heating up, and Hurd, who's one of the best hitters in the league.
A look at first, the pitch to Ruffner, and he swings and misses at a slider on the outside corner, 0-1. Ruffner, 1 for 3 today, an RBI triple in the first, and a couple strikeouts since. A throwback to first, and Twygo dives in safely. Gets that right hand in before the throw. Here comes the 0-1. Ruffner hits a high chopper left side. Miller, the third baseman, fields. Rolls to his left, slings it to first just in time to get Ruffner, and the inning comes to an end. But the big train tie the game on a Jack Guerrero solo home run. To the bottom of the 7th we go. It's 4-4. Bottom of the 7th. And the Aces a chance to walk it off. 4-4 our score. They're the home team in game 1 of this doubleheader. Hutto back to the mound. Wilson swings at the first pitch, bounces it past the third baseman Guerrero and into left field for a base hit. And the winning run aboard for the Aces in the bottom half of the 7th.
Batting ninth for the Aces, the second baseman, a sophomore out of UC San Diego, number 2, Chris Escobar.
And Chris Escobar, a San Diego product, to the plate. Or it's Alex Wade, who pinch runs for Asa Wilson. And likely he will come into right field, and it'll put Tim Nicholson behind the plate.
And we'll see if the Aces opt for some small ball, see if a bunt is going to be dropped here by Escobar.
The 9-hitter with the infielders at the corners creeping in. Hutto looks over to first. Escobar squares, takes it inside, throw back to first, and Wade just in before the throw.
Pinch running at first base, a sophomore out of Auburn, number 2.
Alex Wade, the Auburn product, has 9 stolen bases in 25 games. A ball and no strikes to Escobar. Squares again, bunts it foul down the first base line towards Tim Nicholson, who stands on deck. He's the leadoff man for Alexandria. Big Train trying to hold on to this game for dear life with so much importance for the North Division title on the line. 1-1, Escobar squares again, bunts it down the first base line. The first baseman, Twygo Fields, races back towards home plate as Escobar quickly turns and runs backwards, but Twygo applies the tag for out number 1. Over to second goes Wade, and the winning run in scoring position. So Tim Nicholson at the plate. Hutto on the mound. The righty reached on an error and scored an inning ago for the Aces to tie the game. First pitch to him, and the slider picks her perfect on the outside corner, called a strike, 0-1. Big Train cannot give up a run if they want to play into the 8th. 0-1. Nicholson takes inside with the slider, a ball and a strike. Hutto leans in for the sign. Set shoulder high. 1-1 pitch. Nicholson watches another fastball. And this is inside off the plate. 2 balls and a strike. R.J. Hamilton on deck. 5 straight All-Stars due up for the Aces. 2-1. Nicholson hits a high chopper to the right side. Williams, the second baseman, backs up on it. He fields it and fires to first in time for out number 2. But over to third moves Alex Wade, and the winning run is 90 feet away for R.J. Hamilton.
Batting second for the Aces, the left fielder, a freshman out of Vanderbilt, number 31, R.J. Hamilton.
Hamilton 2 for 3. Pair of singles, sandwich a strikeout. Hutto from the windup, and the first pitch slider hits the inside corner. No balls and a strike.
That's Hutto's best pitch, and if you can locate it on the inside part of the plate to a right-handed hitter, you're going to have a lot of success because that's just weak contact waiting to happen.
0-1. Hamilton hits a pop-up first base side and out of play, down 0-2. Great speed for the left fielder at the plate. A ground ball will be a tricky play for any of the infielders. Hutto, 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning. 0-2. A soft chopper down the third baseline and foul. It's no balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, that was going to be trouble. So Big Train get a bit of a break there. Guerrero, great third baseman, but like you mentioned, the speed, just that would have been tough for Jack.
We've seen Hamilton fly. 17 stolen bases in 19 games played this summer. 0-2 to him. And the fastball well upstairs. Not close. It's a ball and 2 strikes. 4-4 our score. The winning run at third for the Aces. The home team here in Bethesda for game 1. The 1-2 from Hutto. Hamilton hits a high fly ball to deep left field, or on his way back. He looks up, it's off the wall, and Hamilton walks it off for the Aces. In the bottom of the 7th, they take game 1, 5-4.
That's a tough pill to swallow if you're the Big Train. But give credit for putting up a heck of a fight here in game 1, but doesn't mean the Big Train season is over. Doesn't mean their quest to win the North Division is over. It just means game 2 is going to have a little more on the line.
A late rally in the 6th gave the Aces the lead. Jack Guerrero's home run in the top of the 7th tied it up, but an RBI walk-off double for R.J. Hamilton sends the Aces back to the dugout with a win for game 1 as we get set for game 2 here at Shirley Povich Field. We'll be back after the break. Game 2 will start at 7 o'clock in exactly 40 minutes' time. For Adam Glover, myself, Eli Kleinmann, Cailey Thalman, and Harrison Myers, we say so long and be back in 40 minutes.